How to watch Todd and Julie Chrisley's first post-prison interview. Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another video. I hope everyone's having a great day. Before watching the video, please subscribe and like it. The Chrisleys will share their side of the story in an exclusive interview with Fox News' Lara Trump on Saturday, June 28, during My View with Lara Trump at 9/8C. The appearance marks the first televised interview for the Chrisley Knows Best stars since Julie and Todd Chrisley's pardons and release from prison, and it'll feature both of the former prisoners and their daughter, Savannah Chrisley, who received the call with news of the presidential pardon straight from the Oval Office. The reality star and his wife were originally sentenced in January 2023 for tax evasion and bank fraud, after they were convicted of conspiring to defraud banks in the Atlanta area out of more than $30 million in loans by submitting false documents. The duo was initially found guilty and sentenced to a combined 19 years. The couple were released from prison on May 28 after being pardoned by Donald Trump. As a result, the world of reality television has rarely seen a couple whose personal lives have captured such intense public attention as Todd and Julie Chrisley. Known to millions as the stars of the hit reality series Chrisley Knows Best, the couple's journey from television stardom to their shocking legal troubles and subsequent prison sentences has played out like a dramatic saga on screen and in headlines alike. Now, after months away from the public eye, Todd and Julie Chrisley are stepping forward for their first exclusive interview since being released from federal prison, offering candid reflections, confessions, and revelations that promise to reshape the narrative surrounding their lives, their family, and their future. The much-anticipated sit-down was conducted in an intimate setting far removed from the glitz and polish of television studios. With a calm demeanor and quiet resolve, Todd and Julie appeared poised, but undeniably changed by the experience of incarceration. Their faces, though carrying familiar warmth, also bore subtle signs of their ordeal, a solemn reminder of the months spent in confinement. Yet their spirits seemed remarkably intact as they welcomed viewers into their new reality, a reality far from the mansion's cameras and curated family moments that once defined their brand. From the outset, Todd Chrisley did not shy away from addressing the most painful aspects of their downfall. He spoke of the fear, uncertainty, and despair that marked their early days behind bars, confessing that he had at times lost hope of ever returning to life as he knew it. But as the days turned to weeks and the weeks into months, Todd described finding a strange sense of clarity amid the stark walls of prison. He reflected on his faith, which he credited with sustaining him during his darkest hours, and emphasized how the forced solitude gave him time to reassess not just his choices, but also his values, priorities, and purpose in life. Julie Chrisley offered her own perspective, speaking gently but firmly about the profound impact of separation from her family. As a devoted mother and wife, Julie said that the hardest part of her sentence was not the deprivation of freedom, but the absence of her children and loved ones. She described sleepless nights filled with worry for their well-being and the ache of missing key milestones in their lives, moments she could never regain. Yet Julie also shared that the experience had deepened her appreciation for her family and renewed her commitment to being present in every moment moving forward. One of the most striking aspects of the interview was the couple's unflinching honesty about the mistakes that led to their convictions. Without offering excuses, Todd admitted that financial ambition and pride had clouded his judgment, driving him to decisions that ultimately cost him his freedom. He expressed regret for the pain caused to his family, his fans, and the public who once saw him as the epitome of Southern charm and success. Julie echoed these sentiments, acknowledging that she too had allowed material aspirations to take precedence over integrity and accountability. Their confessions were raw and unvarnished, a far cry from the carefully managed image they once projected on reality TV. But the interview was not solely a litany of regrets. Todd and Julie also spoke of hope, redemption, and the possibility of new beginnings. Todd revealed that during his time in prison, he had become deeply involved in mentoring fellow inmates, many of whom, he said, had no support or guidance. He described teaching life skills, offering counsel, and even leading prayer groups, an experience he called unexpectedly fulfilling. Julie shared how she had bonded with other incarcerated women over shared struggles and fears, forming friendships that helped sustain her. Painted a portrait not of celebrities brought low, but of human beings finding grace amid adversity. The Chrisleys' reflections also touched on the changing dynamics within their family. Todd spoke emotionally about the strength of their children, especially Savannah and Chase, who stepped into new roles of responsibility and leadership while their parents were away. He praised Savannah for her resilience in caring for her younger siblings and holding the family together through media scrutiny and public judgment. Julie spoke tearfully of the letters and messages she received from her children, which became lifelines of love and encouragement during her imprisonment. Their gratitude for their family's steadfast support was palpable, a testament to the bonds that no sentence could sever. Beyond personal revelations, the interview also raised intriguing questions about the Chrisleys' future. When asked whether they planned to return to reality television, Todd offered a thoughtful response. He admitted that while the allure of the spotlight still held some appeal, he and Julie were now more interested in projects that reflected their hard-won wisdom and new values. Todd hinted at the possibility of a docuseries or speaking tour focused on redemption, faith, and personal growth, endeavors that could transform their public personas from fallen stars to voices of hard-earned experience. Julie emphasized that any future ventures would prioritize authenticity and service over fame and fortune, a stark departure from their previous brand. Perhaps most surprising was the couple's openness about the legal system that brought them down. Todd spoke candidly about what he saw as flaws in the justice process, voicing concern for other individuals who lacked the resources or visibility to fight unfair charges. He stopped short of declaring their own convictions unjust, but made clear that the experience had opened his eyes to the complexities and inequities of the system. Julie agreed, noting that while they accepted responsibility for their actions, they also hoped to advocate for reform and support for others facing similar struggles. This perspective suggested that the Chrisleys might channel their celebrity toward broader social causes, a prospect few would have predicted at the height of their fame. As the interview drew to a close, the mood shifted toward reflection and resolve. Todd expressed gratitude for the chance to start anew, insisting that the greatest chapter of their lives was yet unwritten. He spoke of faith, family, and the enduring belief that every setback could pave the way for a greater comeback. Julie smiled as she spoke of simple joys awaiting them: quiet dinners, homecoming hugs with their grandchildren, all the ordinary moments that prison had made extraordinary in their absence. Their words resonated with humility and hope, the voices not of defiant stars but of humbled survivors eager to rebuild on firmer ground. For fans and critics alike, the Chrisleys' first post-prison interview was more than just a media event. It was a rare glimpse into the private aftermath of public scandal, a human story unfolding beyond tabloid headlines and reality TV scripts. Todd and Julie Chrisley emerged not as flawless heroes or irredeemable villains, but as people who had stumbled, fallen, and learned. Their willingness to confront their failures and embrace change offered a narrative of redemption that few reality stars dared to tell, one that may yet redefine their legacy in the public eye. Only time will tell how the next chapters of the Chrisley story will unfold. Will they reclaim their place in entertainment, using their experience to inspire and educate? Will they retreat into private life, focusing solely on family and faith away from the glare of cameras? Or will they chart an entirely new path, shaped by lessons learned behind prison walls? Whatever the outcome, their journey has already taken a remarkable turn that challenges assumptions and invites reflection on fame, fortune, failure, and forgiveness. As the world watches Todd and Julie Chrisley in this new light, it is clear that their story is far from over. The honesty, courage, and vulnerability displayed in this interview mark the beginning of a different kind of public life, one that may yet prove more meaningful than the fame they once knew. In facing their past, they have opened the door to a future filled with possibility, a future they seem determined to embrace with grace, wisdom, and renewed purpose. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, America Trends 24, and stay with us.